Hello, families. So we pushed our fraction knowledge today during math, and I'm assuming there will be some struggle tonight when you're completing homework. So I'm making this video to help you get through homework this evening. So the first thing that we looked at was how to put two fractions on the same number line. And so one of the strategies that I taught students was to make a second number line. In the first number line, they'll put the first fraction. On the second number line, they'll put the second fraction, and then they'll move up the fraction from the second number line onto the first number line. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to start with 3/8, and we've talked a lot about that. Our number at the bottom. Why is my pen not working? There we go. Our number at the bottom tells us how many pieces are between 0 and 1 whole. And so your child should be able to say that there are 8 pieces, because that's what the denominator tells us, between 0 and 1 whole. And so we're going to cut our line into our 8 pieces. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we're going to label our pieces. So we have 1/8, we have 2/8. I apologize for my handwriting on here. 3/8, which is the one we wanted. 4/8, 5/8. 6/8, 7/8, and we have our 8/8, which is equal to 1 whole, and students should also be able to say that 0/8 is equal to 0 wholes. So we have our 3/8. Now the tricky part comes in when we need to put our 2/3 on the same number line. So I taught students to make a second number line. Now, they got a little messy today, and so it will be important that they keep their lines nice and organized, and it's also important that their line, that's where I said a little bit, that their line is the same length as the one before it, so that their fraction pieces don't get messed up. I'm going to erase a little bit off of that. There we go. Okay, so here's my second number line, and I'm going to focus my 2/3 on this number line. So again, I'm going to mark my 0 and my 1 whole. And now I'm going to look at the denominator in this fraction, because that tells me how many pieces there are between 0 and 1 whole. The denominator tells me there are 3 pieces between 0 and 1 whole. And so I'm going to split, kind of have decently even pieces there, and I'm going to label. So here is my 1/3, 2/3. Again, this is my 3/3. And my 0/3. And now that I have my 2/3 on this number line and my 3/8 on this number line, the goal is that I should just be able to move my 2/3, which it should be probably around here, up to this number line. And as you can see, it does get a little messy. But now I have my 2/3 and my 3/8 on the same number line. Now I also taught students that they can put the first fraction on 3/8 and then they can erase everything. So I could go and erase all the fractions that I don't need because I have my 3/8, and I wouldn't need the second number line. And so what I could do then is if I have my 3/8, oh. Okay, so if I go back and I have my 0, I have my 3/8, I have my 1 whole, if I wanted to put 2/3 on here, I could pretend like this wasn't here, ignore it, split my number line like I normally would, so here's about 1/2, so this is about 1/3, and this is about 2/3-ish. And I could label. Now this is a lot less messy since I did erase, but it is a little bit more challenging, so you may find that it would be better for your child to make the second number line and move it up. Either way is fine, but the goal is to have them both on the same number line. Some students were really into this today. I told them they can make their own at home. All they need are 2 fractions with different denominators, and they just put them on the number line. So I hope this helps with some of the homework tonight, and I'll have another video that I'm making to help with fractions greater than 1 whole. So look for that one too. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.